All right, guys, I am back with MLB expert Joe Gavazzi today to continue in our ongoing series of videos highlighting metrics and how you can use them to your advantage making your daily picks. Now, we've covered WHIP, OPS, K9 ratio, all of these things which have proven very effective predictors for games outcomes. Today, we are focusing on a pitching index. So, Joe, what exactly is a pitching index?
Well, the pitching index that we're going to speak about here today, Matt, is something that puts all those variables together into one formula. And it's a simple equation that we're going to show you how to use, very easy to use. You'll feel comfortable using it. It will not be nearly as daunting as it sounds at first. And you'll find it extremely effective to use in your work when handicapping the major league pitchers today.
All right, well, this sounds something like I can get on board with. It sounds like a comprehensive, takes into account a lot of the metrics that we had already been speaking about and condenses them into one easy-to-use number. Now, can we use this number to beat the books here?
Well, we can use this number in a number of ways. First of all, the beauty of it is that we can use it either to isolate just one single start by the starter, look at it over as many number of games as you'd like, break it into a home-road split, a day-night split, or to use it for a whole group of pitchers, for example, a group of starters for a team. There are a number of ways to use it, and I think that you'll find its use to be most applicable throughout the course of the season. It's just about at its strongest now at the 50% point. First of all, before we go further, an index of approximately 9 index is about average for a starter in Major League Baseball.
All right, that is good information to know. So 9's our standard. Let's take a look at some specifics here. Now, I got your charts in front of me that we've been working off of, and I'm taking a look at the Pittsburgh Pirates here as a team. They seem to be doing very well on the mound and have an excellent pitching index, correct?
That is absolutely right. The Pirates have the best OPS pitching numbers in the business. What I've done in the article is I've broken down 3 teams. The best starting team in baseball, the Pittsburgh Pirates, a mediocre one right in the middle, the Cincinnati Reds, and of course, to no one's surprise, the Colorado Rockies, who are the worst starters in Major League Baseball. With the Pirates, it's a great example of how we have 3 good starters on the team, Cole, Burnett, and Liriano, and yet their team record games started is very diverse. Despite having virtually the same index ratings, a very divergent team record game started with Cole around 75%, Burnett around 50%, and Liriano considerably under 500. This is an indication that the numbers will begin to even out for Liriano. If he continues to pitch as well as he has, the numbers prove that he's going to begin to get more team wins for the Pittsburgh Pirates. That's one way to look at this index. First of all, before we are any further, and before we have to even begin to talk about other teams, let's go through what this index is. So you may want to write this down if you haven't read the article yet. It's earned runs plus hits plus walks minus strikeouts. I'll go through that again. Earned runs plus hits plus walks minus strikeouts. We divide that by their innings pitched times 9. That gives you an index. As I said, that algebraic formula may be a little daunting at first, but use it a little bit. You'll begin to do it virtually with mental math in your head for smaller numbers.
All right, guys, and as always, we're going to have that chart and all this article and links in the description as well, so you can look over and take your time making your own informed judgments on it. Now, like you said, we got the Pittsburgh Pirates here. Obviously, you had them highlighted in your OPS article. They're doing very well for team pitching indexes as well, and they've been seeing a lot of success lately. Also, just on a side note, Liriano's pitching tonight, so something to keep an eye on there if you want to continue to add to these charts for us. And you know, we got high, so now let's go middle or low even. Obviously, like you said, the Colorado Rockies, awful team, and they only got 1 guy on the entire team that's under your average for the 9 on the index.
Right. If you look at their starter who has the most innings pitched, Kendricks, you can see that he's absolutely awful with an index of over 14. And when the guy who's pitched the most innings for you as a starter has an index that high, you know your team has trouble.
Absolutely, and for them, Rusin tonight is pitching. So we got two guys going tonight, Liriano on the top end of this article, Rusin on the bottom end of this article. Now, what direct correlations can we make based on these numbers here on maybe a head-to-head matchup basis?
Well, clearly you can simply look at an average of 9, and just as you do with your whip numbers or any of the metrics that we've spoken about, when you see the further divergence from 9 that you go, simply the more value there will be. The lower numbers are better in these indexes. So if you see a guy who has a 0 index, he's really good. You see an index getting up around 12, 13, or 14, and you know this guy's in the tank and may not be in the rotation much longer.
Well, guys, there you have it. Some food for thought when making your daily picks. And remember, stay tuned as we have more of these metric breakdowns coming to you. And if you have any ideas for a topic that you'd like us to cover, please do let us know in the comments section.